You guys, I missed you so much. Oh my goodness. I've been super busy with business classes and things that I want to bring to you and, share with you. I don't want you to think I forgot about you or anything like that. Of course I haven't. I know I haven't sent out anything recently, but it's not because I left you hanging. I've just been trying to, better myself so that I can help you be better and you help me be better. So anyway, tonight, just real quick, I want to talk about a couple of things that's been on my mind. A few of you have reached out to me, and I just thought I should, reach back out to you, just talking about a few things. 2013 is here. We're in March now. We worked on our vision boards. We worked on our 101 goals. We worked on business plans for those of you who are serious about starting a business, taking your company to the next level. For those of you who are not thinking like that, I urge you to think like that, to start thinking like an entrepreneur. And why have I gone so hard on this? Because in my humble opinion, everyone is meant to be their own boss. Everyone. And I think that God wants you to be rich. If you believe in a higher power, if you believe in the Most High, I believe that the Most High wants you to be wealthy. And I believe that everyone is meant to be their own boss. And why do I say this? If you just look at it from a religious perspective, you look at it from a spiritual perspective, any holy book you read, whether it's the Bible, read Proverbs, you read the Quran, you read the Bhagavad Gita, no one in history has ever made a major impact and difference while they were still in someone else's vineyard. Okay? Because as long as you're in someone else's vineyard, you're not going to be working to your utmost potential. You're working to the potential to make that corporation or that company or that particular entrepreneur who stepped out on their own, you're making them better. You're making their company grow. You're making them wealthier, but you aren't necessarily becoming wealthier. Sure, you may be honing a craft, but you're not ever going to be as happy and fulfilled as you would be if you were in your own vineyard. No animal, insect, bird, or reptile in nature has a boss. Okay, even worker bees and ants, although they are working for the cause of the colony, they're free. Does that make any sense? In nature, animals either hunt, which we would say work, okay, or they don't eat. They work or they don't eat. And no animal gets up in the morning and is unhappy because they have to go someplace that they hate. Only humans do that in the capitalistic society, industrialized, westernized society. So because most of us we live in westernized, industrial, capitalistic systems, we have to learn how to operate in those systems. And that's all I want you all to start looking at, is how to operate more effectively in this system. Because if you don't, trust me, somebody else will. They'll take your ideas, they'll take your concepts for growth and your concepts for entrepreneurial skills, and they will make it their own. It's natural to work for someone because this society has programmed you to believe that, but nature doesn't operate like that. I also want you all to start thinking more about assets and liabilities, stuff versus things that bring in income. Anything that helps you make more money is an asset. Anything that costs you money is a liability. A car is a liability. Although you need a car, the minute you drive a car off of the parking lot, it starts to lose value. So I urge you to spend more time and money and research investigating and researching assets and not so much liability stuff, okay? I want you to start looking into investing in stocks. Ownership over financing. I understand we all need cars, we all need apartments or homes, we need these things. But I really want you to start thinking as an owner, as joining the team as a franchise owner as opposed to a starting player, as opposed to wanting to sit on the bench and be the star player. I want you to start thinking more as a franchise owner. Because financing, whether it's cars, credit cards, things of that nature, financing equals slavery. Debt equals bondage. And the slave system is still alive, well, and kicking, and it because it's not chattel, it's not you necessarily working in a cotton field or a sugar plantation. You think slavery is dead, and it's not. It's just turned into a financial system. And so what happens is people are convinced to take out hundreds and thousands of dollars for student loans, which in turn makes them a debt slave. Because if you're coming out of college and you owe $100,000, $250,000 worth of student loans, guess what? You will have to work for somebody to pay that off. And although you may command a wonderful, wonderful salary, you know, it's going to take the rest of your life to pay that off. And they are aware of this. Who's they? The bankers who are getting your money. Sally Mae, Bank of America, Chase, you know the names. So I urge you to get debt free as soon as possible. And even if that's not a reality for you, to start thinking about ways to enhance your assets. Many of you can purchase real estate and you don't realize it. Because right now we're in an economy where, real estate is dirt cheap. And if you can find a way to even partner up with someone, family or someone in your neighborhood, and start some type of investment club, something, a partnership, you and your husband or you and your wife or you and your bestie, your BFF, something, get together and invest in some property and get some people in that property and rent that property out, boom, that is now an asset for you. That's bringing in money. And just think if you can double that or triple that, then you have more money coming in than is going out. Then you don't have to worry about working and you can pay off your debt and get out of that bondage. This is what we need to work towards in 2013, 2014, and 2015. Investment over consumption must be your new mantra. If your debt-to-income ratio is too high, meaning you have student loans, you have car loans, you have credit cards, you have personal loans, you have Macy's cards or whatever, you know what I mean, that type of thing, you'll never be able to launch your own business. Because the security of a secure job is going to keep you in bondage, because that wage, that's coming in, and everything that's coming in is going out to pay a bill. And then what's left for you to really enjoy for yourself, or savings or vacation, or just, to have, because it's yours, right? You worked for it, you earned it. Well, that will give you, a false sense of security. That job, because it's going towards paying those bills, but is it going towards your happiness? Is it going towards your dreams? Is it going towards your aspirations? Is it going towards the things that you put on your vision board, or in your business plans, or in your 101 goals? So I just want you to think about some of those things. And even if you don't know anything about the stock market, just to start to educate yourself about it and educate yourself about how easy it possibly can be to turn your talents, gifts, skills, and abilities into a feasible small business, or at the very least, an asset income producing engine for yourself. Okay? So keep that in your mind. And whatever it is that you love to do, like I said before, if you love to cook, you love to get in the kitchen, look at culinary arts. But just put in the time, Focus on what you love. Don't focus on what the news or the newspaper or your mother or, your friends, the homies, whoever is telling you where the money is at the time. Look at what you love to do, what makes you come alive. Malcolm Gladwell, he talks about 10,000 hours of training and practice to truly master a skill. And I believe that. I stand firmly by that. It takes 10,000 hours to master your craft. So you look at anybody who is living their dreams and really doing them and doing big things, they've put in the 10,000 hours. They've put in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. That's when you become the expert. So if it's not something that you see yourself doing for 10,000 hours, for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, then you might not need to do it. Yesterday's remarkable is today's really good and tomorrow's mediocre. Okay, so in other words, whatever is hot right now probably won't be hot next year. You already know what was hot last year is gone. No one is paying any attention to it, and that's just the way the world operates, in cycles, and everything keeps moving. So you have to keep moving. The time will pass. You may as well invest it in yourself. You may as well invest it in something you love for your family, for your future. Find a niche in the ecology that you can master. Whatever that may be for you. I don't know. But whatever speaks to your soul, whatever speaks to your spirit, when you close your eyes at night, what do you dream about? What makes you come alive? This is what we need to start focusing in on. And, because the goal isn't necessarily cash or a degree or a title, but it's to transform your mind and your character. I mention all the time, when people say they want to be rich and they want to be wealthy, really what they really want is happiness, freedom, financial freedom, the ability to get up and go whenever they want, to travel the world, to see the world, and they want satisfaction and happiness. That's what you really want. So you just have to kind of train yourself to not think like the masses, to not think like the status quo or conventional, traditional wisdom, because conventional, traditional wisdom is dumb as shit. Most people are doing everything wrong. That's why they are broke, struggling, depressed, and unhappy. When you just look at the statistics and you talk to your average person, the way they speak, the things they speak about, they're just not happy. You and I know it. So, and stop hopping around from one thing to the next. You're doing too much. Master one thing well and stay on it before you move on. That's the chief reason for failure, is people just trying to do way too many things and not taking the time to just really master one thing at a time before you move forward. Okay? Everyone is dependent on you. I'm dependent on you. You're dependent on you. Your family is dependent on you. What are you going to do? And, if you can't handle, you can't handle a lot of stress. You can't handle not knowing, what tomorrow will bring. You like the idea of steady control, routine, order. You like the idea of knowing and safety, what tomorrow will bring. That's fine too. But even in that, you have to still master your craft, master your thing. You don't always have to keep trying new stuff. Sometimes it's just the same shit you've been doing, but just do it more effectively. You know what I mean? Do it more efficiently. Do it with more gusto. Do it with more vigor. Do it more effectively. Go to the library. Get your ass up and go to the library. Check out some library books. Some things you're just not going to find on YouTube and Twitter and Tumblr and Google. Some things you're just going to have to go to the library, old school, and check out some books. Read some old great minds from hundreds and thousands of years ago, because these people, I'm telling you, they can bestow so much wisdom. They can impart so much knowledge that you wouldn't find anywhere else. You're not going to find it in a blog. You're not going to find it on TV. You're not going to find it on YouTube, although a lot of shit's on YouTube. Some stuff's not on it. I'm just telling you because I love you. And again, I want us to grow, eat good, do big, phenomenal, wonderful things. Find the healthiest people you know, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, and surround yourself with them. We're going to start getting into health. I really need you guys to start thinking more about your health, if you are not already. I know some of you are like, nutritionists and vegetarian, vegan, and we are all working to get our bodies in tip-top shape so we can live as long as possible on this plane of existence. But for those of you who are not, I urge you to start taking better care of yourself. Get you some vitamins, because it's a lot of nutrients and minerals and things that you're not getting. And truly, your health is your wealth. It really is. It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you feel like shit, if you're sick, for any of you, if you know what I'm talking about, if you've ever got the flu, you know that the flu will put you on your ass. It will knock you to your knees, right? And it just doesn't matter. When you're sick, you can't think about anything. You can't function. You can't work. You can't concentrate. It's terrible, right? And I want you all to be here for hundreds of years, if you can. And, the only way that's going to happen is you begin to correct it now. We have to do better. We have to exercise. A little goes a long way. Sometimes it just comes down to, in the middle of the day, or whenever you have time, early in the morning or in the evening, or just getting out there in the fresh air in nature, get around trees where you can see the sky. We have to come out of these environments where it's just, artificial light and recycled air-conditioned air or whatnot. And you have to just get out there in the fresh air, the fresh breeze, breathe the fresh air, see the trees, get around the ocean, get around the sea, get around a river or a creek where you can just feel the air and connect, take off your shoes and let the bottom of your feet touch earth, touch the grass, touch sand, touch earth, connect with nature. Get into these herbs. Read on these herbs. Even if you are not the healthiest person, the herbs are for the healing of the nation. So while everybody is taking flu shots and still getting sick, while everybody is signing on with Obamacare and everybody is, taking their medicine or whatnot and still getting sick and still dying and still contracting diseases and still just fucked up, basically, right? For all intents and purposes. Let's just be honest. Educate yourself about these herbs. It will put you leaps and bounds above everyone. Not just on the level where you're not getting sick, but on the level that you're cleansing your body. And start juicing if you haven't started already. We're not practicing this. We're not practicing this, and we're not diligent with this. It's like we know certain things, but we're not doing it. We know we should be doing this, but we're not doing it. And I know we're not. We all can do better. And that's why I'm here to just kind of remind you, like, let's get back on this. Seriously, let's get strong on this. You know, everything requires balance, including your body. And you have to have that, a balance of vitamins and nutrients. And when you look at the nature of our society, our world, where you have basically polluted water and you have polluted air and you have negativity coming at you from left and right, you need to be able to balance that out. And the only way you can do that is by putting good, healthy, clean foods into your body temple, alkaline foods. And to be technical, if it doesn't grow on a tree, on a vine, in the earth, from under the sea, it's not food. It's just not. Now, I'm not here to try to proselytize or convince anybody of anything, but, you know, even your ancestors, the food that we're eating today is not the same food that our ancestors ate, because up past 30 years ago, there were no genetically modified crops, and the soil wasn't depleted the way it is now. So, you know, with that being said, you have to start to think about what it is you're putting in your body every day, because that's affecting your mind, it's affecting your spirit, it's affecting how you grow and develop. So these are just things, you know, I'm not trying to beat up on anybody. I'm just saying we need to start thinking about this and getting into this and doing better, being better, and encouraging one another and, you know, staying on each other to be better. So anyway, I'm going to leave you all with that. And I hope that everyone is doing well. I hope that everyone is working on their plans, working on their goals, working on chunking away and checking off their 101 goals and dreams and aspirations of things you want to be, do, have, and see. You're great. You're rich. I love you. And signing out. Peace.